I try to put my tough guy game face on before I come out here, and you guys just ruin it all and make me smile. I don't got the prettiest smile. What I do have is the prettiest belt. Haven't been here in some time, and I got some business to attend to. Some things very, very important. Some things not so important. I want to get the not so important things out of the way. Where are we? Where are we tonight? There's somebody that's from around these parts that I would like to challenge to a rematch, and I would like to do it right here, right now for you beautiful people. Hangman Adam Page.
Whoa. Wow.
You want that rematch? You got it right here, right now. Let's go.
What the? What? Is Punk even cleared? I don't know.
We have never got that confirmed, yay or nay. And I don't even know. Do we know that Hangman is here?
Well, apparently Punk does. Well, this is the first time we've heard from Punk since that match. First on time.
My sentiments exactly. Now on to the important things. That's not cowboy shit, that's coward shit.
Yeah.
A little bit of advice, and I suggest you take. The apology must be as loud and as public as the disrespect. And if anybody else has a problem with the champion, well, I suggest you come on down, you see, because everybody wants to be the champ until it's time to do champ shit. Ladies and gentlemen, I understand that Jon Moxley's got a lot of fans, and he can be number one in your heart, but he's not number one in this ring. I am the AEW champion. I understand what it takes to be the best. I know what it takes to talk a big game and say that you're the best in the world. I know what it's like to breathe that into existence. I also know what it's like to lose. And ladies and gentlemen, I have lost big, sure. But Jon Moxley has always been number two. There's always that guy that has his number. I'm that guy. Hey, you can boo if you want, but let me know when I'm telling lies. Jon Moxley is the third best guy in his own group. And that seems to be a reoccurring theme in his career. Doesn't make him a bad guy. It doesn't make him the best either. I am the best. Number one. Jon Moxley has been here carrying the torch for AEW. I broke my foot. Jon Moxley talks about breaking bones and drinking blood, but between me and him, the only person who's broken bones in the last 6 months is me. They were mine, but still, the fact remains. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Jon Moxley has been interim AEW champion. Interim, look it up. It means temporary. But I'm willing to test myself against Jon Moxley. But Jon Moxley's not willing to test himself against his best friend. And let's talk about numbers. His best friend is the third best Eddie I've ever been in the ring with. Third. He's the second best Kingston I've ever shared a locker room with. These people aren't number one in anything. Tell me when I'm telling lies. I've missed you, ladies and gentlemen. I've missed competing in this ring. I have yet to defend this title, and that's exactly what I plan to do. It All Out, the pay-per-view, 4th of September, Chicago, Illinois. I'm looking forward to testing my belt against Jon Moxley's number 1 versus number 2 with a bullet. I'm looking to test my foot. The funny thing is heading into Chicago, Jon Moxley's not even the first John I'm going to beat in Chicago for a championship belt.
This is the one and only Mike Hartenbauer. You guys are listening to Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following Sit Down Marks podcast is set for one fall. Introducing first, your heel host that is always helping to spread the good word of wrestling, Dirty Bird. Next up, the co-host from the land of the rattlesnake, Mr. Team Extreme, editor and producer, Primo. And finally, your co-host, straight out of your mama's kitchen, driver of the grip wagon, straight off a cliff, assistant editor and producer, AJ.
Hey, come on in, sit down. Let's talk wrestling, my people. It's your boys, the Sit Down Marks podcast, episode number 78. What is going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in here. We really appreciate it. Thank you, TW Ward, the voice of Memphis Wrestling, for bringing us in each and every week. If you don't know these two by now, let me introduce them to you one more time. I didn't get the memo. They are twinsies today with their TDC, those damn Coyote shirts on today. What's going on, boys? Co-hosts AJ and Primo. What's happening, brothers?
We sent you the memo. Why didn't you respond to us?
Yeah, it was via Stagecoach Telegram.
Yes.
All right, well,
Carrier pigeon after
yeah,
that.
I was going to say my fax machine did not go off. It must have got caught up in between the wires somewhere.
Yeah, well,
How is it going?
It's rude though.
And if you don't know who we are, you can go back 77 episodes and re-listen to every single one of them because Primo and AJ and DB are all there.
I mean, I usually like to stay humble, but there's some people listening out there. So let's pat ourselves on the back one time because we're in the top 150 wrestling podcasts in the United States, boys. See, AJ got so excited he left the room.
He pressed the button.
He did.
That's right. That's right.
Like he just he was so overwhelmed he had to go
Broke
and do
top
it. Top
150. I mean, we're doing things.
We are. And while we're talking about it, thank you to everybody for putting us there, downloading the podcast on all the platforms. You know those, Apple, Spotify, all those that we talk about, Stitcher, Google, and Sportswire Radio. We can't thank those guys enough. They really support us over there in the UK. Thomas Price, he's basically been with us since pretty close to the beginning. And, as we
pretty close,
march on down on to 100 episodes here on the pod. So thank you everybody for listening, man. This train ain't stopping. We're going to keep rolling. I'm not happy. I'm happy right now with 150, but tell those friends, tell everybody, we got a lot of things on the horizon now, a lot of things that could happen. And we're just excited. The pod is taking off, getting a lot more popularity.
Dog.
We appreciate
it. Tell you horse.
Everybody.
Tell you donkey.
Right.
Tell your podcast listening donkey.
Yeah. Tell
some discerning donkeys.
Give Tina some ham and tell her about the sit
Tina
down.
the llama.
Yeah.
That fat lard.
Yeah.
It is. Oh yeah, but thank you everybody. We really do appreciate everybody out there. So let's get this thing rolling, boys. Let's see what the old pop of the pod has for us today. It's could be a surprise. Let's see.
I like last week, so let's see what we got this week.
Old Jukity box.
It feels right, knocking your head left, spinning 360 in this ring. I'm your Red Death.
That's right, the Red Death himself, Daniel Garcia.
Very fitting. Very fitting.
DG.
We'll
DG.
talk about him coming up.
Yeah. He's getting some steam here a little bit.
Dukey Bucks thought that was a little bit of a banger, so
It is a little bit of a banger,
bit
as
of
the
a banger.
kids say.
yeah, as the kids say.
That's one jazzy tune, as Dirty Bird would say.
Jazzy. It's real groovy.
I like the melody of that tune.
We really play that at the hoedown, the hootenanny, the shindig.
We called it
That's a
tracks.
sock
We
hop.
called it tracks in my day.
Tracks.
We called them tracks.
This
Yeah.
is before there were 8 of them, 8 tracks.
Yeah. We called them tracks.
They were just regular tracks
That's what we called them in the 90s anyway.
before cassettes.
Yes.
Before cassettes.
Oh,
Side-
yeah,
that was side
cassettes.
two.
That was like cassettes switching over and the CDs and,
Yeah. I got my first.
Do y'all like
CD player.
CDs or tapes?
I still have some tapes.
Well, I used to make mixtapes. Like I used to sit by the radio and record and play
Oh,
get the best-
absolutely.
song
Sure.
after school,
I still do that.
and then I would
Right
accidentally
now.
record over it and piss myself off. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually looking in my car. I have a newer car, and I was talking to my wife about this the other day. I didn't realize it. My car doesn't have a CD player. My car doesn't have. It doesn't even have an auxiliary ports to plug up
no
anything
USB.
in. You got to use USB or Bluetooth. That's it.
Yep.
That's
They
it,
assume that you have technology.
Sure.
You know what
Yeah.
was the worst? Like when you finally hear the song that you wanted to hear all day and you're recording it, but then they have like a station promo in the fucking middle of the
Yes.
song.
Yes. There's a long time that some of my stuff included like the DJ outro. And so I would just like that would be in my mind too.
Like
with
that
the
part
song.
of the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I mean, how many nights did I sit there with a blank cassette tape listening to the Hot 9 at 9? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and recording all those in my feelings, about all my ex-girlfriends and, then the songs me and the boys are jamming to, and you know what I mean? Like, it was different times, We were like going, what?
Simpler times.
Yeah.
Some might say better times, but
There we
not
go.
me. I thought it was stupid.
Primo, let's go on the headlines, man. What's happening?
A lot of stuff is happening in WWE. Absolutely nothing's happening in AEW.
Nothing at all.
That's not true. Just nothing that I'm reporting really.
Oh, trips.
WWE is launching NXT Europe. No longer just NXT UK.
Expansion.
I guess something about how I read something about how the whole UK Brexit thing.
They
Are you bringing Brexit into this?
Yes.
they don't want to be
Just making that up. I'm just kidding. I'm
The
kidding.
whole
No.
economic.
They want to make it
foundation.
more widespread.
Yeah, but that is what they want to do. They just want to make it more widespread. I was just joking. No, yeah, it's pretty cool. They're going to extend that, and obviously timing was everything with Worlds Collide, but whatever.
Sure.
They like to market. Marketing is everything, I guess. So, moving on. Speaking of marketing, Road Dogg is back in WWE as an executive. So essentially, D-Generation X is running WWE now.
I mean, that was
sure.
the end game, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean that was. I saw the meme. It was like the building in Stamford, Connecticut, or whatever, with the big DX on it.
Yeah.
And it was like, how did this come true?
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Triple H
So-
brought his boy back. One of his
Adam
boys.
Copeland, after Monday Night Raw, went off the air and talked about how next year, when they go back to Toronto in a perfect world, they could all say goodbye together.
Cool.
Of course, he'd be in character as Edge.
Yeah. So so it sounds like maybe a year left, and he can end it. They plan on coming back to Toronto in like another year, and he can call it quits there. That'd be cool.
I would like
Perfect
that.
world. You always want to see the kind of final run, right?
And he needs to bring back Gangrel though for his final
At least for
appearance in
a
Toronto.
couple. Yeah.
Not Ed or
Wow.
not Christian.
Wow.
Christian is busy, but Gangrel he's not doing. He's like selling used cars or something like that. I don't know what Gangrel's doing.
He wrestled in Chicago not long ago. Definitely still wrestling.
In
He was on
between used
AEW
car
at one
sales.
point.
In between
Yeah, that's
selling
true.
used cars. Fanging and
Also
banging.
on Dark Side of the Ring. At one
Slanging
point.
them used cars.
Also, lastly, my last note of the day: Survivor Series is basically sold out. There you go.
It's in Boston, right?
No, yeah, it's in Barclays, and the initial run of those tickets are basically sold out. Obviously they'll have some tickets on hold for the public sale, like in person or whatever.
You said it's in Barclays?
Yeah. Well, Barclays is somewhere else, but yeah, I don't know, dude. I think it is in Boston.
It is in Boston, yeah. Barclays.
I know I'm not going.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's
Survivor
the Barclays
Series.
Center? That's in like New York.
Barclays is in like Brooklyn.
Brooklyn,
right?
Yeah.
Basically the same.
All
TV
that
Garden.
stuff is so small in that area, and it's all together.
I know, it's all like, you never think of it. It's all like 50 minutes from everything.
Yeah.
You should be able to get to all of it by boat.
Right.
Is that how you traveled back then? Like if you wanted to go to the
My
West
tugboat.
Coast,
Yes.
you would get on a boat and go all the way around like South America and then back. We're going out west.
Exactly.
We're at the Cape of Good Hope.
And that is the headlines for today, man.
Nice. Love it.
That was August 24th for all you marks out there.
It was. All right. AJ, let's see what you got in your segment this week, man. I'm excited for this one.
Listen up, cool cats and smelly marks. Let's all gather in and snap our fingers for the groovy sounds of AJ's Poetry Hour of the Week.
Oh my god, that was better than...
Oh, snapping, groovy cats. Yeah, let's go.
You put the little drum cymbal. Oh my god. Whew.
So what are we having? Story time? Or what is this? A book?
It's a little poetry hour.
Oh, poetry.
Oh, is it the one I showed you?
Oh.
I never thought of this.
Let's hear it.
We have a haiku from the road by Razor.
King haiku?
In its entirety. Southeast Loop, April 13th, 19th, 2017. Orlando, Florida to Concord, North Carolina, 532 miles. Paul is driving first. Rental with broken windows. Occam had Arby's. Speed limit only. Arkham farts. Paul is laughing. LinkedIn while I cry. Stop at Savannah. Stop car. Air out Cadillac. Why Arby's, Occam? Now I drive the car. Paul and Occam want Arby's. We drive in silence. Concord, North Carolina to Spartanburg, South Carolina, 97 miles. Yes, new rental car. I forgive Paul and Occam. Golden Corral time. Why eat cheese, Occam? Paul encourage behavior. Why? Spartanburg, South Carolina to Atlanta, Georgia, 180 miles.
Yeah.
New rule, no lactose. Razor pick sushi buffet. Razor eat healthy. Razor make mistake. Imodium not act fast. Oh, cruel karma. Sears for 3 new pants. Pay enterprise cleaning fee. Paul and Occam laugh. Atlanta, Georgia to Orlando, Florida, 439 miles. House show loop is done. Paul, Occam drive, eat Arby's. Razor fly, no farts.
No.
This
That
is,
was
of
wonderful.
course, Pain. The book Pain, a book of poetry written by Bebop and Rocksteady, which, of course,
Authors of
are
Pain.
the authors of Pain. Occam and Razor. It's a book of their poetry featuring
That
Paul
was
Ellery.
way better than I thought it'd be. It was so funny.
This
Why
book,
Arby's?
this book is absolutely hysterical. It is because it's all of them, like all their little poems and like little stories. They're all like that, and I don't know if they actually wrote it, because if they did, they're fucking geniuses. Because I read this twice, and it made me laugh so fucking hard. Like they're all like that. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. It's called Pain by
That's
Occam
great.
and
So
Razor.
Occam and Razor, yeah, they're former NXT tag team and then
Yeah, they're now
SmackDown
the
for
car
a little while.
salesman.
Yeah, and yeah, so and I was a fan of theirs too. So this is what they're doing now.
It's amazing. They have one called "My Vest Has Many Pockets." That's a nice poem. I almost
They did
read that
have
one.
many pockets.
They did. I almost read that one. Here's one for you, literary fuckers. Virginia Woolf had a great finisher. It's so good. Oh, I love it so much. I highly recommend picking this up. I cry when Daddy calls me Hawk.
Oh my god. It's all over the place.
I wanted to read that one too, but that one's like 3 pages long, so I didn't read it. It's amazing. Go buy it. Read it. I'll send you my copy. It's fantastic.
All right.
I didn't know you'd actually buy that when I showed you that. But
I bought it.
I'm so glad you did.
I bought it immediately. Look at this. Look at this title. I cry when Daddy calls me Hawk. It's the greatest thing ever.
I cried today.
Oh, it's fantastic. So thank you for indulging me in poetry hours now.
All right. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am the Dirty Bird. It's time to talk about what we're going to talk about. First off, AJ and I are going to fill you in on all the happenings from Dreamwave Wrestling last Saturday. And also, we're going to talk about Iron Spirit Pro coming up this Saturday at the Sweet Corn Circus in Normal, Illinois. We'll talk about that shortly. All the latest of what we are watching on TV as well. And also today, we're going to review one of my favorite matches of all time that's in AJ's favorite Intercontinental title picks, the old classic from WrestleMania 10, Razor versus Razor Ramon, pronouns pal.
Versus, not Razor of Ackerman Razor. No.
Right. No. Long before this time. The famous WrestleMania 10 ladder match between Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels. And then lastly today, Primo has the pick for promo school today. So we'll see who he takes us to promo school later in a surprise edition of promo schools. And much, much more as usual. Thank you guys all for hanging out with us today. Let's talk some wrestling, guys. Let's get it.
This is Levi Cooper.
Hey, this is Buck Nasty, Bucky Collins.
This is Big Beef.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw, and you're listening.
You're listening.
And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
All right, first up, our little indie roundup for the weekend. AJ and I had the pleasure of working with Dreamwave Wrestling. The big return last Saturday night. It was supposed to be an outdoor show, got moved indoors to the Knights of Columbus building, which was a historical building when it comes to Dreamwave Wrestling. So it kind of felt like we needed to start it back up there. Like, you know what I mean? It just kind of felt right. Like, it kind of felt like we were right where we should have been. First off, as you've heard me talk about, Dreamwave was one of the first shows I went to in the Midwest. So as I'm driving into town right off the bat, I haven't seen these places and stuff that, I visited, the sign of the Knights of Columbus building that's hanging off the side of the building. Hayes Smokehouse, which is the best place in town to eat, if you ask me. Just seeing these places, I had, the feelings rushing back all over. I got a little bit of goosebumps of what, could possibly happen tonight with what was the big 8-man single man match at the end for the Dreamwave Championship. But, first of all, thank you to Jay. Thank you so much to Jay Repsol for, letting us be a part of it. It was just an absolute honor. Me and AJ were kind of pitching ourselves because after the show was over, we're standing in the middle of the Knights of Columbus building. Everybody in God's creation has already left and gone. We're standing in the middle of where Dreamwave Wrestling had just made its return, kind of pitching ourselves, kind of one of those kind of like weird, awesome, cool moments that this awesome, great podcast that we love so much now has brought us to, and just open up the doors. And it's crazy. Somebody told us 6 years ago, hey man, Dreamwave shut down, but in 6 years when they return, you're going to be there at the Knights of Columbus building. So just, as soon as you walk in there, it's tons of nostalgia. there's a door downstairs that has NWO spray painted on it that Kevin Nash did it himself. I'm
fucking amazing.
I like, and so, and I got to go and kind of sign some of the guts of this building. So just a wild experience for us, man. The unload and load up of the ring was the most different we've ever done before. But
we almost died.
But the efficiency and the idea of it had been done plenty of times before. So as long as you're careful, it worked. And, it was the easiest and I think maybe the only way to do it. It was pretty amazing. So, but yeah, once again, super pumped to be there. October 8th is the return. Is another one that's going on. Will be the next show, should I say? As Jay said, they're not going to run every month, but every other month. But complete nostalgia. It was an absolute amazing show, and we couldn't be happier to be a part of it. So. Drip Devlin, we got to shout him out. He's the one that's always kind of showing up with us, not only at Dreamwave and other promotions, but Iron Spirit Pro. He's always showing up too. So he was there, and it was basically us three and Bayou Bill. Billy from Zawa, Bayou Bill, and a couple other people, but shout out to those four, man. We just all rocked it out and got the job done, man. It was a really cool weekend, and just so happy to be a part of it, man. It was cool, man. The energy was it's like I said, one of those LaSalle crowds. It just feels just a little bit different, and not talk a whole lot about the card, but me and AJ were big fans of the Hammerstone Bucky Collins match.
Oh my God.
I thought it was the best one of the night. Yeah, it was great, man. It had everything. It had stiffness. It had some funny spots, of
Bucky.
course, with Bucky, you know what I mean? Bucky sold like a champ. Great match. That was probably our favorite versus, the guys really put an awesome show on. The Coyotes versus the Beck family. Holy shit. They come out with the W, but man, they took some lumps to get there.
Like rough. That was
like rough lumps. Like the double slap to burn his kidneys. Oh my God. Like he had handprints.
Also Damien had, did you see his back? Like right here. Yeah. He had just a clearly defined, it looked like an evil handprint. Sure. Like a devil slapped him.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we moved to, let's get to the main event now. So, coming into it, we were really hoping, our guy Hartenbauer, Christian Rose, one of those guys was going to get it. Now, let me tell you, Hartenbauer comes out to Bull's Own Parade. When he come through that curtain, indie wrestling, electricity at its finest, hometown boy coming out last on the main event of a big, huge fucking return. Man, I had goosebumps. It was special, man. It was just like, I don't know other way, just electric, man. It was amazing. AJ, what was your feeling?
That crowd erupted. Like it sounded like a crowd of 2,000 instead of.
They love their boy. They love.
Oh my God. Boy. And Hartenbauer was hyped too. Like he was ready.
He was ready to go. Yeah, he's gonna pop a blood vessel, dude.
He did. His face was like bright red, like just screaming. Like, oh, it was so cool.
Yeah, it was great.
Like we were sitting with Shane of the Shane Show, and you could tell he was just as excited too. Yeah. Like it was. Oh my God, it was to hear a pop like that in such a small building is a thing of beauty. Like this is like the best part of indie wrestling is that right there. It was fantastic.
Yeah. They love their hometown guys, and they also love their guys that kind of made the company. They don't they're starting a new beginning, but they're still kind of remembering some of the the roots that started the company. But all right, so it was just absolutely amazing, right? Everybody in that fucking building wanted Hartenbauer to win so damn bad, right?
Yes.
So the match starts. I don't know. It wasn't a very long match. Maybe it was a little longer because I was kind of watching all kind of stuff going on, right?
There's a lot going on. It didn't seem long.
It didn't seem like it. Yeah,
No.
yeah. I'm going to say maybe 12 minutes, maybe
Yeah.
10, 12,
Something
maybe,
like that.
Yeah. So the Ice Pick, Vic Capri ended up winning the title, with a little help of some shenanigans. And it completely sucked the air out of the building.
Oh my God.
They were fucking shocked. I was sitting there with my mouth open. Now looking back, it totally makes sense. But
it does.
At that point, everybody wanted to see the boy go over or Christian Rose win for a third time. The crowd was kind of hot for Brubaker. He's an old guy, there. So they love him there too. You know what I mean? But, and Vic won, and the I am not kidding you when I say this at all. I was elbowing AJ going, look at him. Look at the crowd was stunned, dude.
Yeah.
And they weren't pissed. They were stunned. Like what just happened? Like
it went from absolutely nuts to almost dead silent. Like when that happened, everyone was like I remember I looked at you and I looked at Shay and I was like, wait, really?
That's right.
Vic?
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
unexpected.
Yeah.
Absolutely unexpected.
Yeah. I mean, nothing against Vic. Vic's great. He's a legend in Midwest professional wrestling. He's been doing Dreamwave for a long time. Totally one of the guys that deserves it. So no problem there. But you know what I mean? Like the heel won it off of, you know what I mean? And the crowd just, man, it just, and they're going to pay now to see, somebody try to take it off of him. But, I'll tell you this, man, I like I said, I understand. I really wanted to see Hartenbauer win. I really wanted to be there for that big return and, just have all the good stuff. But, when it happens, it's going to be great. You know what I mean? But, man, they got us. They got us.
Bad. Yeah.
They got us. Those bastards. They got us. I
pretty
love
cool
it.
in retrospect. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes total sense, man. So after the show, I'm talking to Hartenbauer. And, just being, the fan I was, as soon as the show starts, me and AJ don't have to work. We're just chilling. We get to watch the show, right? And, we're fans, after that, you know what I mean? So I told Hartenbauer, I was like, hey, man, I wanted you to win so bad, dude. He's like, I know, yeah, I won't tell you the rest of the conversation. But, yeah, you know what I mean? It was great, man. But, yeah, once again, fucking awesome show. It was great to be back at the building. The feel, the vibes, the whole, LaSalle energy. It's only going to grow from here and get bigger. Everybody's so pumped that they're back. They did a sellout, which I don't know. I think 350 maybe.
350 would be my guess. Yeah.
Yeah, be a good guess. So, an outdoor show, hopefully if the weather's good in October would be awesome. If not, I imagine we might end up back there again, possibly. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I'm just guessing. But yeah, so just super awesome, man. It's great that Dreamwave is back and it just feels right again. So let's move on to Saturday, though. Me and AJ is going to be down at the Sweet Corn Circus with our independent promotion that we work for, Iron Spirit Pro. We're putting on a couple matches at, like I said, the Sweet Corn Circus. It's a free event. We just got the map not long ago. There is a ton of vendors going to be out there. The weather looks like it's going to be great. So if you're in the area of Normal, Illinois, come see us. Come check us out. We're going to be selling tickets to the September 10th event going on at the Connie Lee Amphitheater for at a pre-sale price. And, just come check it out, man. If you got an idea of what Iron Spirit Pro is all about, come check it out. We were just talking about Hartenbauer. He's going to be there wrestling for us this weekend. We got Corn Boy coming back in, of course. We were just talking about Drip. This, I think, AJ, technically this is going to be Drip's Iron Spirit Pro debut.
Nice.
He's finally getting a match.
Good. I'm looking forward to that because I love Drip. He's fucking awesome. And he's one of the funniest goddamn people you will ever talk to.
He's got a great sense of humor, man.
He is hilarious.
Yeah.
And he's also super talented too. So I'm super excited to see him in the ring.
Yeah, he's got Black and Brave Academy graduate, and like I said, he's always there setting up rings, always there. He helps with everything. setting up, breaking down. He showed up at Iron Spirit Pro for over a year now, and I'm glad to see he's finally getting a spot on the card. So
yeah, me too.
It's going to be cool, man. Looking forward to it. So come on out. AJ is on commentary for the matches this weekend. I will be your ring announcer. Primo is going to he's going to be ringing the bell from Virginia to start the matches.
That's right.
Yeah. Yep. So we're going.
Hey, if they gave me a hammer, I'd do it.
He's gonna be sitting on his lazy duff. I like the word duff when people say duff instead of butt. I don't know why it makes me laugh.
My hiney.
Your tuchus.
But Saturday the corn circus starts at 10 a.m. We got to set the ring up early to be done by the time it starts, and then we come on at 1 o'clock. So we're going between 1 and 2 o'clock Central Time. Come hang out, man. It's going to be fun. It's free wrestling. It's free.
Yeah,
free. And it's going to be great.
We'll also have a table set up, and we're going to be at the far eastern end. We're like if there's 2 main event stages, kind of on each side of the festival. We're one of them, and I think the Gamify Circus is on the other one, but I don't know that for sure. I have to check the map. But we're on the far east end, so come see us.
Sounds good. All right, AJ, keep us rolling, man. Let's go into AEW. What happened this week?
Not much.
Well, by the time we hear this, we got that big sort of a big match that's happening, or
like right now.
It's just happening, like right now as we speaking.
So Dynamite, we're gonna start, of course, with CM Punk, because how could we not? You heard the scathing heel promo at the beginning of our show, and of course, there's been nonstop talk on the old interwebs about, this is how Punk really is, and he's got super major heat with Hangman Page, and because Hangman brought up the whole Colt Cabana thing, and blah 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 blah, and all of that may be true. It may be a work. I don't know, but it's awesome. It makes for awesome storytelling. So Punk, he's kind of riding the line, like his promo, like you heard, it's kind of riding the line between heel and face, which is where he should be. I don't think he should be straight face or whatever. So I look forward to this going forward. And he, calls out Moxley, and Moxley says the only reason he's back is for the money, which is always funny.
Right, yeah. You're broke. That's the only reason he came back.
Yeah, which is just categorically false, because CM Punk is like a multimillionaire. But I loved... like, CM Punk's, you're not even going to be the best John that I beat in Chicago for a title. You're not even the best Kingston that I've shared. You're the second best Kingston that I've shared a locker room with.
Third best Eddie.
Third best Eddie. Okay, who were the... So it's Eddie Guerrero. It's got to be one.
Yeah.
Who's Eddie number 2?
I'm going to say Eddie Gilbert.
Eddie Gilbert?
Yeah.
I saw somewhere it was Eddie Edwards, but I don't
Eddie
know.
Edwards?
Okay, yeah, that would work too, yeah.
Yeah. Hilarious. But yeah, the promo was awesome, and Moxley has a good point, and Punk has a good point. So I don't care. I don't care if it's a work. I don't care if it's a shoot. It's just on fire, so it's going to be awesome. Next thing I want to talk about is my favorite segment of the entire week in wrestling is the Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia match. They had a 2 out of 3 falls match, and it's how these matches go. Daniel Garcia gets the first fall, then Bryan Danielson gets the next 2, and it was fantastic. Bryan Danielson is putting a shine on Daniel Garcia right now, and I loved it. And then I loved at the end where Bryan Danielson does his, offers the hand in a show of respect, and Daniel Garcia is going to take it, and then Jericho attacks him from behind, and Daniel Garcia is, of course, a member of the Jericho Appreciation Society, which never fit him. Like everyone always knew. It's like
sure.
It doesn't fit him at all. It does fit him is the Blackpool Combat Club. So indeed. Daniel Garcia comes to Bryan Danielson's aid. He shoves Jericho off, and Jericho, gets in his face and is pointing at him stuff, and Daniel Garcia slaps his hand. So it was a great little face turn for Daniel Garcia. How the fuck about that?
Yeah, that was so. I mean, and it's just how is he going to get to the BCC, right? How are we going to get there? So it's kind of cool little story here to see how they're going to get him over to that. So I mean, Yeah, it's time. This other thing they were doing with him wasn't working. This will work.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of his genre.
Yeah, it is, and I think it's going to be awesome. So I
He's
look
not
forward
a
to that.
sports entertainer. He's not a talk on the mic guy.
No, he's a wrestler.
Yeah, he's a technical wizard type.
So the next segment I want to talk about is just because it's hilarious to me. Well, first of all, Ricky Steamboat was there, and you know Ricky Steamboat, he has everything.
He does. What does he have? What does he have? What does he have?
He's Asian.
Yes, yes.
Girls love him. Guys want to be him. He's tan. He's Asian.
Well, yeah.
Right.
So we have the Varsity Blondes versus the Gun Club. So we have my boy Griff Grifferson, and then my boy fucking Billy Gunn, and then we have my boy Max Caster in this segment. And I was like, oh, I hate all this so much.
Speaking of, you saw Max Caster wrestle this weekend. Has your opinion changed of him? We didn't get a chance to talk to him, but has your opinion changed of him? Did he seem funny? He was
absolutely
scissoring everybody. So
he seemed like, because again, we didn't get to talk to him directly, but we were watching him. Like, we didn't want to go up and be like, oh, Max Caster. So he was like, before the show, he was like wandering around and talking to people, and he was genuinely like funny, and he seemed like a really, really nice guy.
Shane talked to him.
Yeah, Shane talked to him and said that exactly. It was like just super, super nice guy. He did do a little rap in the show, which his mic didn't work for half of it, so it kind of lost its effect. But yeah, no, he seems great. Like I'll take back what I said about Max Caster because
he had a nice little meet and greet before the show.
He did.
He was at the Dreamwave show we were at this weekend.
Yes.
He did a little a rap on the mic. It didn't work well, but he did put over the local pizza joint. That was
he did.
You know,
Lou Grottos.
Yeah, he said, "I'm like Lou Grottos, and you're like Domino's." You know, like he was ripping on shoot, I can't remember who he wrestled now. It's already been he wrestled Eric Cannon.
It was Eric Cannon.
Eric Cannon. Yeah. So, but yeah, okay, cool. So a little bit more of I did try to I did send a video to Primo that I tried to get AJ to say yo and listen.
Oh yeah, when I was sitting there,
he still wouldn't budge. But so we're working on him here. But no, Max was a real baby face that night.
He was a classy guy, and he did break through my stony exterior just a little bit.
We watched him. He put his headphones and chain on the little girl, and, and the boys he was scissoring with and stuff. It was funny, man. He was good. He was good.
Yeah, he was definitely good. It was good to have him there. But in this, he says, "Scissor me, Big Daddy," or "Scissor me, Daddy ass." There we go.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that was Anthony Bowens. Anyways, they scissor Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn's a face now, sure. And then the final thing I want to talk about.
The Gun Club turned on him.
Right.
Yes, they did. So I'm going to skip ahead all the way to the trios title tournament qualifier or quarterfinal. So we have, which is the dumbest name ever, La Faction Ingovernable, which means, the ingovernable faction.
The ingovernable faction.
Stupid.
Nobles.
But it's versus the Elite, and everyone was like, oh, who's it going to be? Everyone knew it was Kenny Omega, and out comes Kenny Omega. And he might be 100%. He might actually be ready to go, but that's not the story they're telling right now. The story they're telling is Kenny Omega is still, he's not 100%. He doesn't know if he can recover fully. What they did is they positioned him as basically the top babyface in the company right now. But we'll get to his off-air promo in a second, because the actual match, it was great to have Kenny Omega back. It was so cool.
Yeah.
And it was so cool with him with the Young Bucks. And
same. I was glad to see him back.
Yeah.
He's part of AEW, man. So I feel like he needs to be there. And yeah, it was cool. I was glad to see him back.
It was a really good match. And so afterwards, this wasn't aired, but if you are on any kind of internet, you saw this promo. Or Kenny Omega after the match got on the mic and he basically addressed everyone. He was like, thank you everyone. I love everyone here. And he was like, as long as this isn't airing, I'm going to say anything. And he's like, I'm not saying that I'm a good guy. I'm still gonna cheat to win. Like, I'm gonna do what I have to. I love that he was like, one of my favorite things to do is come out here and perform for you fellows. Like, he calls the crowd fellows. He's so fucking funny. So it was cool. It was a cool promo. It was really, really good to have Kenny Omega back.
I like how the Bucks were like, "Don't forget that you guys have been booing us for the last year."
Yeah.
Right.
Matt Jackson came up and was like, "You guys have been booing us for a year. Don't cheer us now."
Yeah.
Cheers now, because Kenny's
Also,
back.
I want to go back to that match whenever.
Really good.
So he was doing, Omega was doing the Terminator tap and getting ready to do a suicide dive, but that got interrupted. But then Rush and Andrade set Omega up on the guardrail, and Dragon Lee did that dive through the ropes into the crowd.
Yeah.
Insane.
That was sick.
Yes. Dangerous, but safe at the same time.
I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Fun to watch.
Yeah, it was.
I know I don't remember what I think I texted you guys. I'm not sure. I don't remember or if I did or not, but I was just like, I thought the whole show was good. And that trios match, there was a couple of moments where I wasn't breathing because I was holding my breath.
It was a fantastic match.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's all I got for Dynamite, really.
Oh, okay. I was just going to rewind about two things. CM Punk, all these, there's a tons of, reports, a lot of, people saying, Punk's starting to act up again, this kind of stuff. So, with the apparent call out of Paige that wasn't planned, wasn't part of the script, yada, yada. You think this is good or bad for AEW? When he does stuff like this, it's like, Punk's going off the mic, going off, on a little tangent. People might get interested, or is it kind of like, hope he don't start acting like that again?
I think it's good because look at how much that was highlighted throughout the week. Like, people have been talking about it all week long.
Sure,
it's kept AEW in people's mouths, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think it's good, and it's not a surprise that, like, there's, by all reports, Phil Brooks, the guy, is kind of an asshole.
Yeah,
that's. I mean, I don't know. We don't know, obviously.
Yeah. We don't know him personally, but a lot of people have maybe said that about him, or something, that he might be a hard guy to deal with.
Yes, that he's a bit of an asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, but Michael Jordan was a bit of an asshole. It's like, if you're at that level, you can't not be an asshole.
Sure.
I feel like.
Say that the best usually have gigantic egos.
Yeah, and rightly so. I feel like so they had to have known that it's not like when Tony Khan signed CM Punk that he was like, this isn't the CM Punk of old. Yes, it's still Phil Brooks. He's still the same guy. He's just also CM Punk, who was fantastic. So, I mean, I can't say that it was a surprise or that. Yeah. So, yeah.
My last thing for Dynamite was Omega. Like, I love that he's back. It's a nice little jolt in the arm for AEW. If possible another title contender. Like, if he's healthy enough, I'd love to see Punk Omega.
Oh my God,
cool
that would be
that
amazing.
Be? I like the possibilities. So, I'm glad to see Omega back too, just for, like, I feel like a lot's happened since he's been gone, kind of.
A lot has happened.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So the matchups is what I like to see.
I also liked when they were introducing Kenny Omega, like the list of accolades that they had to rattle
buffet
off.
line or something. Yeah, I know. That was right. It was so cool. All right.
So yeah, that was Dynamite. Unless you guys have anything else.
That's it for me. Got some Rampage for you.
So Rampage, I don't have much for Rampage because
just a little.
Yeah, the whole Hook thing was not great. Like, it was fine, but
where he the reality star.
Whatever his fucking name is.
What's your name's boyfriend? From Jersey Shore.
Yeah, Zach Clayton.
Yeah.
No thanks. Don't care.
He's the boyfriend of somebody from Jersey Shore show.
Sure. I had no idea.
But
I had no idea who he was.
JWoww. It's JWoww's
Sure.
girl. Okay, there you go. Anyway.
The only other thing I want to talk about is the other.
Is it really?
I guess. I don't know.
Unless she was with the other.
My chick watches a lot of reality shows, man.
Sure, blame your wife.
Bank on this.
Hey,
Count on this.
I'm not hating. Back in the day, I watched my fair share of Jersey Shore.
I'm very proud to say I've never seen a single second of Jersey Shore.
Oh yeah, I my guilty pleasure is trash TV.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. But really, the only thing I wanted to talk about on this particular episode is the other trios championship tournament qualifier or quarterfinal, and that's the Trustbusters, who are Ari Daivari, Parker Bordeaux, and Slim J, and they took on Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, and Trent Beretta. And the only reason I want to mention this is because it was a trios championship quarterfinal match. Best
Parker Bordeaux's the guy from used to be with Joe Gacy,
Harlan.
Right? Harlan, yeah.
Harlan Bordeaux.
I still don't.
Yep. See, I
same.
Didn't really care, and I don't care about the best friends at this point. Like, I just don't care. Danhausen showed up at one point. That was funny. But apart from that, didn't really care. Yeah.
Miro's back, but his new trunks are a little questionable.
Yeah, what's with those?
Yeah, I don't know. They don't look manly to me. Like, I don't know if he's trying to go Metro or you know what I mean, or like, I don't know. I just couldn't dig him. I couldn't take him seriously with those. But,
yeah, that's why I didn't. Really mention it much.
Yeah. Orange Cassidy once again closing the show with a win.
I mean, he's good.
They're doing something here, right?
He just needs to change up the gimmick and
doing something here. But that's all I got for Rampage.
Yeah, that's all I got too.
Primo, let's roll on to Impact, brother. Are you playing with your nipples? They feel good, that kind of shirt.
On to Impact Wrestling. We'll get through this quickly. Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, and Kushida are now calling themselves collectively the Time Machine. So not Motor City Machine Guns or Time Splitters, but
the
Time
Machine. I mean, I get it. Clever.
Yeah. There was a cool Fatal four-way match between Black Taurus where he defeated... There was a cool Fatal four-way match where Black Taurus defeated Trey Miguel, Laredo Kid, and Ray Orris. The coolest part of Impact was the main event 6-way #1 contenders match to decide who goes to Bound for Glory to contend for Josh Alexander's World Championship. The match was between Eddie Edwards, Moose, Steve Macklin, Sami Callihan, Bandito, and Rich Swann.
Nice.
The winner and new #1 contender that will challenge Josh Alexander at Bound for Glory is Eddie Edwards.
CM Punk's second favorite.
I know you're hoping for Sammy.
Eddie.
I was, yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, man, Josh needs a heel. Sammy's good. They wrestle each other a ton.
But Sammy's kind of working face right now against Moose.
Yeah. I think that's where we're going.
So, moving on to NWA Power. Chris Adonis defeated Chris Caprice. Chris Adonis defeated Caprice Coleman. I still messed it up with a master lock. Which, by the way, I guess Chris Masters was the first one to do the master lock, but now Bobby Lashley does the Hurt Locker. So they both do the same move. Anyway.
Same.
Matt Cardona says he is going to be taking back what's his. And Trevor Murdoch says he is bringing hell with him at NWA 74. How about that?
Oh, bringing hell.
Yeah, Trevor Murdoch. He's going to bring hell with him.
Oh, Lord. Hope he don't bring the devil.
Sure.
And in the main event, the Commonwealth Connection defeated the Spectaculars in the main event.
Spectacular.
I said that twice. Main event. 3 times.
Spectacular Resistance.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
French Stickler. I gotta get Rene Dupree. There it is.
I know. I love him so much.
Primo always looks like he's doing the crab dance. Yeah, because somebody get me Rene Dupree. Hey, assistant, get Rene Dupree on the line.
Let's get him.
Rene
Thank you.
Dupree.
I'll call him right now.
I was so mad. Real quick, I remember this is before I joined the military, but I was still so patriotic, and I remember how they turned Rob Conway to Robert Conway, and he was like a soldier, an American soldier in the audience.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what the fuck? As a teenager.
Oh, God.
They totally got me.
Oh, all right.
Mark.
Got him.
Yeah, Mark.
Conway. Anyway, that's NWA Power.
All right, let's move on to WWE, boys. What's that show that comes on Friday nights, Primo?
That would be Smacking It Down.
That's right. And we are live from Montreal, Quebec, Canada for this one, boys. The 1200th episode. Does that seem pretty wild? Huh? 1200 episodes of SmackDown. Hey, I'll probably watch every one of them.
I'm surprised they didn't come out with a DVD thing. Well, I guess that's why they don't do that anymore. I know back in the day, I had Raw's 25th anniversary DVD collection. I had SmackDown 1000. I remember I used to collect all the.
They just put it on the network now.
DVDs, yeah.
The Canadian crowds are always pretty hot. This one seemed pretty good early. But to kind of lead off the show, what's that?
So Canadians can be hot, yeah.
They can be.
They can be hot, eh? all right, you hosers. So we started off the show with Ronda Rousey. She gets arrested for not leaving after asking to be reinstated. She kind of hijacked the show like she's been doing lately, coming out of the crowd, that kind of stuff. So she gets walked out. Toxic Attraction, I guess, inadvertently kind of gets to make their SmackDown debut. They end up beating Natalya and Sonya to advance in the women's tag team tournament that they're having. But report comes out later that Gigi Dolan got hurt, so they're going to have a second chance match to get a replacement, yada, yada. But once again, here we are, Natty, putting over new talent as usual.
She's the Dolph Ziggler or the Miz of new people.
Hit Row took out Maximum Male Models and then did a rap song that I could not have fast forward my DVR quick enough through. It was so fucking awful. It literally sucked. They gotta work on this. If it flows and it's good, I'll but this one wasn't good. Yeah,
I want Hit Row to be fired again. I do. They're
Shit Row.
Oh my God, they were painful. They're painful to watch. I'm not a nope.
Yeah,
no.
This was good. Right now, when they say who better than Top Dollar, everybody.
Yeah, everybody
is right now. So, but we'll see. We'll see. New iteration, no Shane. So we'll give it time like we always do. Sheamus is your new number one contender for the IC title at the Clash at the Castle. What do you think about that match?
Why? Why Sheamus? Why?
Got the Sheamus?
Because
it's going to be a hard-ass hitting match.
Oh, yeah. They're going to beat the balls off each other. But
they got to rep that. Yeah, the UK thing. But also, it's going to be a brawl.
Oh, they're gonna mash each other's faces in.
Their chests are going to be hamburger meat.
Yes.
Oh yeah, a couple of pasty Europeans beating the fuck out of each other.
Yeah. So I'm actually happy to watch that match on a Saturday.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good match.
Yeah,
I'm
that'll
looking
work.
forward to it.
Liv beat Shotzi, but then was attacked by Shayna Baszler to kind of forward their story.
Baszler.
All right, so main event, boys. Drew and Roman face off as they are pumping up the show. The match at Clash of the Castle, because I don't think Roman's going to be on next week for the go home SmackDown before they been there. But anyway, Roman has been the champion for 723 days.
Jesus Christ, that's
How
getting
about that?
boring.
And I think I did the math like when they were talking to today. So today would be 723. On Wednesday, August 24th would be 723. So that's impressive, man. Like that's legit.
I'm getting bored.
They end up brawling, of course. Sami Zayn takes a Claymore for Roman when he kind of pushes him out of the way and takes one, but then Roman ends up taking one too. Drew stands tall with the belts as SmackDown goes off. Clash is a week from Saturday during the day. I think it comes on at like 12 Central, 1 o'clock Eastern time. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So
6 hours ahead of us.
Yeah. So you're starting to get a little bored with Roman.
Yeah.
I'm not yet because they're doing it well. They're doing it well, I think.
Yeah, I like it still.
I mean,
I really like
a little bored. I'm not like boo boo, but I'm just like okay.
Right.
Like
I'm waiting on that formidable opponent to step up where I go.
Which
like
is that, and that's what could it be? Cody Rhodes at Rumble, probably.
I mean,
I've said all along who I want to beat him for the championships. It's not any secret.
So have I.
I still want Seth Rollins to do it.
And I
but
want
they're
Shinsuke.
just not going to do that.
Yeah.
I want Shinsuke Nakamura to do it.
I would just like to see somebody that hadn't been champ before.
See, that's
put up a good story.
Make it make sense though.
Yeah.
How is somebody who's never been champ going to beat one of the best champions in the past 30 years?
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes. See, and I get that the appeal of Cody Rhodes beating Roman, but it's not like Cody Rhodes is an up and comer. He's not.
True.
I mean, Cody Rhodes is one of the most famous wrestlers in the world already. And has been for a decade.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Like I say, I'm not getting bored with it yet because I think they're doing it well. I don't want the bloodline to kind of lose their clout yet.
I thought the little interaction between Sammy and Roman backstage was hilarious.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
If they throw stuff like that in all the time, well, because Sami Zayn is just amazing.
He is money.
He is, man. He's good. All right, so Raw. We're in Toronto, Canada, home to Edge and Trish Stratus.
They sold that exclusive shirt. I saw it in the crowd.
Sure did. Right off the bat, Seth Rollins and Riddle are brawling all over the arena as the show comes on, and then Trish Stratus comes out, gets her a little hometown pop. Bayley and her
little bit
new
of Stratusfaction
come out and interrupt her, and then Asuka, Alexa, and Bianca come out to support Trish, basically to help set up their match at Clash at the Castle, and then Dakota and Ito end up beating Asuka and Alexa to advance to the finals of the women's tag team tournament. So that's how that one's kind of I think we all kind of agreed it kind of makes sense to put the titles on the new kids here, give them a little block.
I don't think they have a name yet.
Clout. Yeah, they don't have a name yet, do they?
Like that faction, the Bayley's faction.
I thought it was like Control or something.
She kept saying Control, and I thought that's what it was going to be, but they haven't established it.
No.
Yeah.
Can we also talk really quick about how much I dislike
Shush! I just want to do that. Sorry.
Of course. I cannot get on board with her. Every time they give her the mic, I'm like,
Who?
Bianca Belair. Oh. Who's the other Funkadactyl that?
Girl.
Cameron.
Trinity. Oh,
Cameron. She every time she talks, I get Cameron vibes from her.
Girl.
Or who was the girl that was like, I'm gonna be the next undefined Divas champion? Like it reminds me Alicia Fox. Yeah.
Alicia Fox.
I think
she's smoking.
Well, she is. But Bianca Belair,
it does seem garbage. A lot of the same when she gets on it, like, you say you're gonna do this, well, I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
She has a template for a promo.
Yeah.
But I can't stand it. I can't. Every time they give her the mic, I'm like, ugh.
She don't do the bestest, the fastest, the roughest, the toughest, the EST
of the WWE,
which I have always hated that gimmick. I'm not.
You don't go here.
You don't go here. I'm just not a fan. Here. Not a fan of her at all.
Right.
I like her. I don't mind her. I think she is incredibly gifted, and she's the now and future. Like she's it. And I think that her and Becky carried the women's division over the last year. So it's like,
see, I will agree with that. Only check her out and just say Becky. Becky carried the women's division for the past year.
All right, so speaking of Shoosh, Alpha Academy does the open challenge, and then of course Kevin Owens comes out and gets a huge pop.
Huge pop.
And he came out with the old prize fighter outfit on, the black with the old KO shirt. Seems like he's going back to that old gimmick, which I love. I'm excited about. Kind of going on a little bit of a tear here. So this was kind of fun to watch. This was a good spot. Nice to see him. They're talking about him getting back into dominating form and that kind of shit. So this is going to be good. Kind of perfect place to do it. Speaking of Bayley, I still can't get on with her gear here. She had
many pockets.
She had her first, and she got like the little suspenders
that she's not using as suspenders.
Yeah. I don't care. I love Bayley. She can
don't get me wrong. Yeah, I love
wear
Bayley,
whatever she wants.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah. That's the only gripe I have is that her gear is kind of weird right now. But
I will look at Bayley all day long. I do not care.
So funny spot, boys. The Miz gets dragged out of the arena by, I guess, they called him Dexter Lumis.
I really hope so.
Yeah, they've said Dexter Lumis this whole time.
Thank God.
Doing his match with Ciampa versus Lashley and AJ Styles. Well, I noticed they didn't say it last night or they didn't say it on Raw on Monday. At least I didn't hear them say Dexter Lumis because it was like they stopped short of saying it. Or at least Corey did.
Were they trying to pretend?
He was on
they
NXT
said it the very first night he showed up.
The very first night, yeah.
Wait, were they trying to be like, oh, who's this mystery villain?
Because he's on NXT on Tuesday, and they said Dexter, so that was the show he was on. But
I love that he just stared at the camera the entire
time. As he backed up, right? I know he's like, as he backed up. That was funny.
Good job on Miz for getting choked out and walking backwards.
All right, let's get this horse shit over with. So coming back from commercial break, Johnny Boring is back. He comes out.
Oh my God! Give him his credit.
Basically reintroduces himself, names all of his accolades.
Johnny Boring.
I think I was asleep already by the time
I watched this twice.
I'm not sure, but anyway. Now, Johnny Gargano's back. He has signed with WWE. It was kind of a weird, they didn't have him interrupt anybody.
It was a legit surprise.
It was just come right back from a commercial. But
here's Johnny Gargano.
It was a duck fart to me.
The whole thing with Austin Theory was funny.
I hated it.
That was kind of funny because they touched on the way.
The way.
The way.
Do the high five.
Do the high five. Do the high five.
Let's do it. Yeah. They gave him the super kick.
He had a nice super kick, too. Yeah. You can tell he learned a lot from Shawn.
This is what I don't like about this, though. Some of Triple H's boys I like, but some of them I don't. And Johnny's one of them. I don't want to see him win any kind of title.
I'm not going to go all the way to agree with you, but I will say that I did not care that Johnny Gargano's back. I was like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever. But I don't hate him. But I was just like, whatever.
You know what's interesting? Mm-hmm. And not many people are talking about it. Like, there's been little bitty squeaks about it. But Johnny Gargano showed up after commercial break. And Austin Theory comes in the ring, right? Mm-hmm. But right before that commercial break, Dexter Lumis was there. Ciampa was there. Ciampa is his old DIY partner. Dexter Lumis and Theory are both in the way with him. So there's all these people that he's associated with were within the last 5 minutes before he showed up.
Has some connections.
Plus the Miz.
Yeah. Now, once again, I'm gonna say this: it's not a knock on his ability. I'm just not a fan. I just think he's Johnny Wrestling, and I don't get it with him. Great wrestler though. Great wrestler. I think my favorite iteration of Johnny was with DIY, but out because I'm such a Ciampa fan, and I like that because they're buddies. But But outside of that, man, he just could never sell me on, like I like my wrestlers to have a little bit of a gimmick. He's just he's just a technical wrestler. I mean, he wins. He wins everywhere he goes. So, but to me, he's just technical wrestler. And then like it was just when he did have like that little bit of a heel turn, like he just like I don't know, it was like he couldn't really sell me on it. But we'll see. New regime, new. It just scares me that Triple H is he's one of those Triple H's guys. What?
Yeah.
He got the crowd to chant "Baby Wrestling" because Johnny
Baby
Wrestling. He has a new baby, and he got
true.
He got that chant over. That's funny.
That was pretty funny actually.
Then the greatest thing I've seen all night, boys. AJ, get the trophy ready because fucking Kurt Angle's on Raw next week, baby. That's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see Kurt on there. Well, I hope he does some kind of spot or something.
When was the last time we saw Kurt?
It was
live. It's right now, right here in his home.
When he was in my house.
No, it's here. He's home.
I can't see him.
They'll tell us how long it's been since Kurt's been on. They'll be like, "Oh, it's been
just camouflage."
They're like, "Oh, it's been so many years or so many."
It's been like.
When did he lose to Baron Corbin?
Was it a WrestleMania?
It was a Mania. Like
it was
I think
two WrestleManias ago. 3 WrestleManias ago.
No, it had to be at least 2 or at least 3 because 2 years ago.
3 because 2 was COVID.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. One before that.
Well, we have these things called computers.
This would be cool. It sounds like it's going to be a one-off. Doesn't sound like it's going to be kind of a run, but we'll see.
Oh, well, yeah, he's done.
Yeah, but I mean a run as far as like, he can be a GM or something like that. I don't mean wrestling. I know he's done wrestling. He might not be done as like a, being an on-screen character.
He has to move his neck like Batman.
Yeah, he does.
He did that.
He just had double knee surgery.
Right. Yeah.
It's Mania 35, by the way. We're
3 to 3.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Main event on Raw, boys. As advertised, Edge comes out, gets a pretty good darn pop, and then he proceeds to beat Damian Priest in what I thought was a pretty good match. And man, I enjoyed this. Both these guys. I thought this match elevated Damian here because. Like his selling was great. I thought, looked like they might have rehearsed a lot of this match, so it looked pretty smooth for the most part. So outside of this, being Edge's kind of revenge back on Damian, I thought this was pretty cool. Post match, Judgment Day attacks Edge, and then Crazy Beth Phoenix gets in with a chair and makes the save.
Yeah, with a chair.
Old Betty Phoenix saving her man.
That's right. Crazy eyes too.
I mean, I like that though. Don't mess with her, man.
Right. Rhea Beth match maybe.
I wish Beth was still in her prime because Rhea Ripley and Beth Phoenix, like Beth in her prime, would have been a fantastic match.
Well, I'll tell you this: I know you're not on Instagram, AJ, but Beth works out. She's doing something. It looks like she's working towards something to me.
Good.
Also was a big fan of Edge's Canadian themed gear.
I liked him too.
Yeah, the old red and white.
Yeah, he had the leaves on his knees.
Yep. I thought it was cool too. Yeah, I
like theme gear.
I like the new haircut, and I like this new little version of him. Man, this is cool. And then, so as you reported earlier, Primo, he talked about after the show went off that he hopes maybe in a perfect world, another year they'll come back to Toronto and he can say goodbye. So if it's a farewell tour here for the last year, be kind of cool. It's kind of cool now because it kind of makes me want to you don't really know when people are going to come and go, but makes you kind of, oh, okay, well, he's thinking about maybe a year being done. So kind of makes you appreciate it a little more. So yeah. I'd like to see some cool Edge matches we haven't seen on his way out.
Also showed Edge's documentary was also on A&E on Sunday.
How was it?
It was good, very good.
Yeah,
I liked it. I like all of them.
Are those an hour long? Are they
2 hours.
longer? They're 2 hours.
2 hours. Oh. I think it's an hour 30 without commercials because you can fast forward.
Sure.
However, I enjoyed it a lot. like I do. Well, it's just biography. It's just my thing. I like them.
Sure.
Also, I was talking last week about all the biographies they've shown. I didn't mention they also showed Lex Luger, and that was a good one.
But Lex Luger's outcome is so tragic.
All right.
Yeah.
So, you guys got anything else for Raw or SmackDown before I run over a few NXT notes?
Finn Balor got the win over Dolph Ziggler.
Sure did.
That's all I got for that. That is a statement that I just made.
He's like, they called each other a kid or something. He's like, you can't teach me nothing or something.
Yeah, both veterans. They made it. They made that clear.
Yeah,
they're like the same age. They're both like in their late. They're both like in their late 30s. Like,
all right. So NXT. So as we talked about, NXT UK is going away. It's going to be NXT Europe. So sounds like for the time being, they're going to have this pay-per-view called NXT Worlds Collide. And right now, right off the top, they announced that in 2 weeks at Worlds Collide, Taylor Bate and Braun Breaker are going to unify the NXT and NXT UK titles.
Cool.
All right, so I got a little something. Let's debate it. I think it's time to have the Braun Breaker talk. Okay. He's not the guy. He's not the guy.
Nope. They gave him a shot, and I like Braun Breaker. I do, but no. No,
he's not the guy. I just don't think he's getting over very well.
No,
and
he's not the guy in the same way that Rick Steiner was not the guy. Like, it's the same situation. Like, he's great. He's great, but he's not a top guy.
But do they make do you see? I mean, who do you see winning this match? Tyler, they gonna put the titles on Tyler Bate.
It's gonna be Braun, but I hope it's Tyler Bate because I really like Tyler Bate.
I think it's gonna be Braun, obviously, just because of logistics. But personally, I think it's a tragedy. Those UK title belts are so beautiful.
They are nice, man. Yeah,
they absolutely are.
I'm big fans of them too. They look awesome. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's just time to make another move, whether it's another pivot till they get to another. But I don't know, man. Braun just ain't getting over. You talk about a repetitive promo.
Yeah.
His rebuttals to promos from people are repetitive, and I don't know. I mean, I just don't think he's got much charisma, to be honest.
I don't either.
In this certain time right now. So, I think he might be good dropping the title to somebody else. But anyway, we'll get back to that. I just want to see if you guys kind of agree with me or not on that. But
yeah, I do.
Yeah, it just feels like it's time to move on with him. But we got a debut of the Grayson Waller Effect Show.
Voila.
Thank you. Yep.
Voila.
Apollo Crews was on, and which
weird. I forgot he was a thing.
Yeah, Apollo Crews, he ended up hitting Waller, so that was kind of how that one went about. So mind blowing right here, though, guys. Mandy Rose has been champion for 301 days.
Fantastic. Good for her.
Almost a year she's made it.
Yeah. Not too shabby.
Not too shabby on her part, man. It's kind of coming to the roll there a little bit. So her segment for the NXT Worlds Collide pay-per-view coming up is they're going to be unifying the women's NXT and women's NXT UK titles in a triple threat match with Mandy, Miko Satomura, and Blair Davenport, which was a former women's NXT UK champion. So they're going to unify those. I don't see Mandy losing here to any of these girls, but then, okay, so I talked about Dexter Lumis earlier.
This is the way to get rid of all the UK titles. They're doing the NXT Europe now.
Yeah. And, that guy, you guys just take those home. And, they're they don't work anymore. So Dexter Lumis shows up to save a depressed Indy Hartwell. She loses a match, and she's sitting on the end of the apron, and she's kind of crying. And then Dexter comes and grabs her. They go out, kiss each other. And then he gives her a note that says, something like, I'll be back. A note that says bye for now, basically. And then you see the cops showing up and then they arrest him, right? So is this from Monday night when Miz, when he, you know what I mean? Like that's the only thing that ink links to that is when he, he like kidnapped Miz. So, and then, so that was kind of funny. And then the last thing was the Dyad beat Legado El Fantasma. And then without Santos Escobar. And then the funny thing was, as the show goes off, a black Escalade pulls up. It is driving is Santos Escobar, and he said, "You guys ready?" And they go, "Yeah." And they all get in the.
I wasn't gonna leave without you, Vanos.
All right, so is this like he's taking them to SmackDown with him? Is that what's going on?
Freaking hope
that's
so.
kind of what I got.
Right, yeah. So that's all I got, man, for WWE this week.
Pablo
Yeah,
Escobar and I said that on purpose, by the way. And Index were my two favorite parts of that. And you talked about Andre Chase.
I did not talk about Andre Chase. Now, who's there's a new guy debuting, right? And he's like,
what we have right now is a teachable moment.
Right.
Yeah, it's like Corey
right.
something. Corey Matthews or something.
Yeah,
Boy Meets World.
guy.
I don't know his actual name, but yeah, he was like being real vicious towards the other students.
Mm-hmm. Veteran Chase U, and so he's like, I don't want to be a Chase U anyway. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. But that was all I got, boys. Let's move on. It's time to get to the Dropkick discussion of the week.
Of the week.
Oh,
I can do that.
Baby.
Of the week.
There we go.
Hey guys, this is Mr. Havens, the Argyle assassin himself, giving them all the shivers.
This is the one and only Mike Hartenbauer.
This is Space Jesus, Billy Starks.
This is referee Dan Perch.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw. You can address me as yours rudely. And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast.
You guys are listening to Sit Down Marks podcast.
You're listening to Sit Down Marks podcast.
Come celebrate pro wrestling right here on the Sit Down Marks podcast.
With DB, Primo, and AJ.
With DB, Primo, and AJ.
With Primo, DB, and AJ.
And you're listening to DB, Primo, AJ here on the Sit Down Marks podcast, the best podcast for professional wrestling.
All right, so the next to last Dropkick discussion for the month of August in AJ's favorite Intercontinental title matches. Today, we're covering Razor Ramon versus Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 10. This one took place March the 20th, 1994. Your boy was
5 years old.
about to have, was just shy of his 20th birthday here. So
Good God.
Yeah, so 1994. AJ, take us through it, man.
So, WrestleMania 10. This one took place in Madison Square Garden, New York City. Attendance of 18,065 were in the Garden to see this match. Little backstory about this particular match. First of all, this wasn't the first ladder match ever. They had them throughout like the 70s or 80s, 90s, whatever. It's the first televised one, though. And leading up to the match, they, like during house shows and stuff, Razor and Shawn had like 10 different ladder matches. Just kind of like work out all the kinks and get everything down. So it is for the Unified Intercontinental Championship. And that is because Shawn Michaels got into a bit of hot water. Allegedly, he got suspended for substance abuse and wellness violations. Allegedly. So they had a tournament. Razor Ramon won and became the IC champ. And then Shawn Michaels came back and was like, nope, I'm still that. And he still had the belt. So there were two belts. And that is basically how we come to this match. Before the match kicks off, when they're making their entrances, I thought this was funny. when they're coming out, they had the ladder, the one single ladder set up, like kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
And Shawn Michaels walks up to him and he's like, nah, and he like walks around it.
Yeah.
Whereas Razor like crab walks under, because he has to crouch way the fuck down to get underneath the ladder.
Sure.
So he like duck walk, and it made me laugh because there's this giant guy squeezing underneath the ladder.
He ain't worried about the bad luck. He goes right under that ladder.
So on commentary, I'm just going to mention Vince McMahon because he will play into my final rating of this match. So Vince McMahon's on commentary, and yeah, that's basically it until the start of the match. Do you guys have anything before I run through this fucker?
Primo, you want to go?
I only have two things
Robot.
before the
Robot.
I forgot.
So I only have two things before the beginning of the match, and the first thing, because it was irritating the shit out of me, was what the hell is the cameraman doing during Razor's entrance? Like it was showing him, and then it was showing like the crowd, like the guy dropped the camera or something.
I think he might have.
And then back to Razor, and they did this super wide pan out of this tiny venue. I'm just like, can we just keep it on Razor's face as he comes to the ring?
Yeah, right.
And then that was my gripe on that. But and then I just love the fact that McMahon goes, yeah, in this match you can actually use the ladder against your opponent.
No fucking shit, Vince. Like, what are you talking about?
Man. And compared to modern day, that's like a thing.
Right. My notes before the match started was the Madison Square Garden shows, they always had short entrances. I was never a fan of that.
Yes.
Me neither.
Yeah, like the Rumble where Cena came back. Like I thought it, like, you know what I mean? Like it always seemed weird because
it seems so much tinier, right?
It's like a 10-foot entrance.
Yeah, it's just the way it's built, the way they have to load in, all that kind of, yeah. So
when they put that ladder right in the fucking way.
Yeah. Right. Both these guys obviously, you know, have iconic entrances. Cool seeing Shawn with Diesel. The white pants of Shawn, I think, are iconic. I love those.
That's the best pants the best long boys that Shawn wears are the white pants.
How about Vince ahead of his time saying that look at all the gold dripping off of
he
Razor's
did. Oh, I caught that too.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, so Razor was the original drip god.
The original drip god, right there, you boys. 1994. I was like, all right. Yeah, very ahead of his time kind of quote. But and then the same thing, like my last note was I'd love to watch my boy walk to the ring here. You know,
yeah, but no.
Like they got him coming out from under the ladder, and that's it. Kind of, I'm like, fuck. But yeah, that's it. To the start of the match.
So funny you should mention camera angles and stuff, because you know how they do those cool like runs, like where the camera will be like way back and then they'll like zoom way in, like on the action and stuff. Yeah. So they had an awesome one of those.
They did.
But then Earl Hebner fucking trips over the camera. So it's Earl Hebner's stupid fucking face. This goes bonk.
Yeah,
like,
where they come right to the apron and he's like comes over it. Yeah.
And he's like, oh, Earl Hebner. Yeah. Like, come on, man. So once the match starts, and I'm gonna bounce all over the place here. Obviously, this is new. People haven't seen this on TV before. They not immediately, but once the ladder comes into play, there are just so many innovative, and again, this has never been done before. There's one time where Shawn will slingshot off the ladder. There's a spot where actually there's many spots where they hit each other with the ladder. At one point Razor dumps the ladder and Shawn gets crotched. One of the most iconic splashes of all time happens when Shawn goes up to the ladder and splashes off. And I was like I remember watching this the first time. I'm like, don't put force backwards. Otherwise the ladder's just going to go and you'll pull a Jeff Hardy. But Shawn did the smart thing. He jumps up. So he barely clears the ladder on the way down. And when he splashes Razor, they do hit each other with the ladder quite a bit. And then at one point, the ladder looks like it's just gonna break. Like it like bends, and I can't remember. It was probably Vince, because he drove me nuts in this, who was like, "Oh, they can't break the ladder. That's the only one." It's like, really? That's the only ladder that you have in the entire building? Like, it'll be fine if the ladder breaks. I'm sure there's another one like under the ring or something.
Right.
Now getting to Vince. Oh boy. He said the word unbelievable probably 50 times in this 18-minute match. Every single thing. Unbelievable! Unbelievable! Shawn Michaels is unbelievable! That match, that move, unbelievable!
I have a similar note.
It was driving me fucking insane. Like, to the point where I got angry at the match. However, back to the action inside the ring, Vince's unbearable commentary was overshadowed by just how awesome the actual match was. And when I was watching, I was trying to put myself into like 1994, because obviously ladder matches, like we've been spoiled with ladder matches now. We've had some of the, I mean, look at Mania, X7 with the Dudleys or Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys and all these fantastic ladder matches, but none of that had ever been done before. So we'll just skip right to the end here, because there's all ladder spots and they're all awesome. So the ending is Shawn tries to go up to reach the belts, and Razor pushes the ladder over. So Shawn gets, puts his nuts right on the top rope, and he like ties his leg up into the ropes, which allows Razor to set up the ladder, and he starts climbing. But then Shawn like frees himself too quickly from his leg being tied up in the rope spot. So then Shawn, being one of the best of all time, then ties his arm up. Like, he like flops over the ring or the ropes to try and like get into the ring, and he ties his arm up into the ring, so he's still trapped as Razor climbs the ladder. Razor climbs up, grabs both belts, and does one of the most iconic poses in the history of professional wrestling. Razor on top of the ladder, holding his two belts out to his side, with fucking Earl Hebner right in front of the goddamn ladder, going like this, and pointing up at Razor. So Razor Ramon unifies the IC belts. One of the best poses ever. Like, I can't think of a better one right now. And yeah, I think this should have been the main event of the match. What do you guys think? Or of the match, of the card?
Well,
not really, because Brett wins the belt later, but still.
So, first off, right there at the beginning, I wrote, why is Diesel being kicked out? I thought it was a DQ.
I glossed right over that because of that exact reason. I'm like, if he doesn't leave, what are they going to do? DQ Shawn? No.
Right.
No.
Exactly. So,
no DQ.
Anyway, he got booted, and I was like very confused. But okay, 90s rules. So the part you were talking about them saying or Vince saying unbelievable.
Oh,
well,
God.
At one point, King goes, what a move! And then Vince goes immediately after, what a move! And then they go, what a move! And I'm like, bro, it sounds like they're like taping for a video game right now.
That is a good comparison.
Good storytelling with the exposed floor. So Razor goes and explodes the floor, and then it immediately comes back to bite him in the ass. I thought that was good storytelling there. And the King goes, that ladder's got to weigh, because the first time they pick it up, that ladder's got to weigh 80 to 100 pounds. I said, King, you know damn well that ladder does not weigh that much.
No, 30 pounds.
No, yeah, 30 to 40 pounds max.
Maybe.
And yeah, that's if it's solid metal. I like how in this match they had just one ladder displayed outside the ring and for use compared to today's ladders matches. Obviously today's ladders are like aluminum or whatever, and they're like easily broken. This one was also kind of janky by the end, but it did take a little bit of a beating. When Razor pulled Shawn off the ladder and his bare ass was out for everybody, I said, all of the ladies just got a free show. And I got to give him credit, though, because he didn't, before he pulled his pants up, he delivered that elbow.
Wait, he did? I thought he pulled his pants up before.
Bare ass hit the mat. Nope.
Got his cheeks out.
Then they were both down on the mat, right? And there was this guy in the crowd that just kept like waving. So this guy waving just kept cracking me up.
Oh yeah,
so
the one behind the guardrail.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
And then they said, Vince goes, because they were both down. Vince goes, no one's gonna get up. Wait a minute, Michaels is getting up. Because they were both down, and then Michaels starts getting up right as he said that. And that the damn ladder ruined the spot and made Razor fall at one point. But then there's the spot where Shawn drop kicks the ladder, and Razor like falls off. But it shows you how light on his feet that Razor was, because at that point the ladder was real janky, and the broken ladder that was already real sketch to be on to begin with stayed in place when freaking big ass Razor Ramon jumped off. So it tells you how light on his feet he was. Shawn riding the ladder down from the corner on top of Razor is one of my favorite spots.
That was fun.
And then I said Michaels made that finish happen so well. Like, he recovered it and sold it so well, even up to the point to where as Razor's grabbing and he finally gets released and then he even reaches, to still have that shot. He sold it really well. I thought it was really well done.
All right, so for me, when the match started, it always, like, I've watched this match a lot in my life. Okay, so it always it was kind of cool to watch how quick Shawn was. In the beginning of the match, when they kind of start off kind of hot, hitting the ropes a lot, kind of bouncing all back and forth. You get to really see how quick he was. But probably one of my favorite things about this match is that it starts off hot like that, and then it transitions to kind of a little bit of a technical wrestling match. But quickly, but another thing that I like about it is there's no trash talking really during the match. These guys are just wrestling, having a fucking wrestling match, no real shit talking, that kind of stuff kind of going on too much. Just straight work, what I mean? Just straight work. And then this transitions to outside the ring, where the mat gets pulled up, Razor ends up out there, that kind of stuff. So you get a little bit of the, outside the ring action, using the steps, the ladder, and other things as weapons. But I think probably what makes this particular match so great for me is the selling that was done by both of these guys. Especially towards the end, Shawn is fucking bumping his ass off, to get to, this final, to how, he ends up, Razor ends up winning. But yeah, so Shawn reaching for the titles and Razor pulls his pants down. I had that, it's funny too that he's like, all right, screw it, you're gonna pull my pants down, I'm gonna drop an elbow on you with my ass hanging out, right? But honestly, like, I'm disappointed because these fans, they weren't really into this match too much, and Shawn showing his ass was probably the biggest reaction all night from these. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't remember everything that happened in WrestleMania and where they were at the point in the card, but it was like they were all kind of gassed out a little bit. But this was end up being the biggest reaction, to the match, and they should have been more, into this. But anyway, as I mentioned, Shawn really selling a lot towards the end, bumping all around for the ladder shots from Razor. I still cringe a little bit when I see Razor throw Shawn off the ladder, which was like kind of a weird body slam. I'm just so glad it didn't, like, it looked like Shawn wasn't going to get rotated over enough, but he did. So that's always kind of makes me cringe a little bit. But as Primo said too, I love watching the spot of Shawn, riding the ladder down on top of Razor. But I think what made it awesome was the camera angle. You know what I mean? Yeah. From where they were, you got to see shit,
the up above,
yes,
camera. I love that camera.
Yeah, up above camera, and then the one that's far back too, where you can see him kind of come straight forward. But yeah, that was awesome. Okay, so the finish. I love the idea of Shawn getting caught in the ropes. and as he's calling the ropes, he's still grabbing onto the ladder because he knows if Razor rips it away from him, he's going to, climb it up to the top. And, and so him grabbing at the ladder to keep Razor from climbing to grab both the IC titles. But he eventually does pull it away from him. But you guys know that Razor Ramon is, he's in my top three. It's Flair, Razor, and Tully Blanchard for me, right? In my top three in my life. My favorite, absolute favorite picture of Razor Ramon is the 2-belt shot where he's at the top of the ladder when he goes back up at the end. Like, it's just an iconic picture for me. Probably, looking back at his career now, probably the highest point. I mean, he was never world champion. He was double IC title champ, for a second. You know what I mean? He won the unification. You know what I mean? Like, so it ends up being big. You know what I mean? So I love this picture of him. It's always iconic for me. Like, I'll always look at that picture and go, oh, fuck, man, WrestleMania 10 versus Shawn. It's fucking great. You know what I mean? Like, it's just iconic match for me. Like I said, I was, close to almost 20 years old here when this happened. So I am just loving it, man. But let me ask you guys the real burning question here. How the fuck did that one ladder make it through all of this and still, they use so many ladders now. This one,
that's what I'm saying. They went to these lightweight aluminum ladders. This was a solid ladder.
Yeah. I think this is an actual ladder and not a gimmick ladder.
Yeah.
That's how it, and it barely made it to the end.
It was still kind of janky at the end, but it did its job.
I wonder where this ladder is. I want to buy it. Like,
probably in the WWE.
It probably is. Yeah.
Archives.
They have that big warehouse with all the stuff.
Yeah.
I heard they were going to do a museum one day.
Yeah,
I hope they do, because I would go to that in a heartbeat.
That'd be cool to see shit like that, wouldn't it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I wouldn't, I probably couldn't afford that fucking ladder, but you know what I mean?
Right.
But I mean, it's, just amazing. It'd be cool to kind of see it, you know what I mean? After all these years, WrestleMania 10. So, I absolutely love this match. I've seen it a lot. So we've watched it now, boys. We've reviewed it. It's time to smelly market. Primo, we're going to let you lead us off today.
All right, so you guys know I like my gimmick matches. Sure. Shawn Michaels is in my top 5. He's top 3 for me, honestly. I love Shawn Michaels. This was a great match. And they were innovating as they went. Like, this was ladder matches built off of this. Long story short, I gave it a solid 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'll go next, Primo, or AJ, and let you finish it off since it's your favorite, one of your favorite IC title picks. For me, man, this match had absolutely everything. Like I said, I loved how it transitioned to all different kinds of the match. It was a little gimmicky, which, a lot of times, I like a little more traditional side, but, the gimmicky, matches, I love. This one, has nostalgia for me. Like I said, hot in watching wrestling, during that time. Razor, always one of my favorite guys, and, this match, it just has it all, man. It's hard for me to find anything about this match that I don't like. You know what I mean? It's not a 10 because I don't know what a 10 is, but I feel like this, because is there the perfect match? I mean, I don't know. I mean, if I had to choose one thing, maybe this, match lacked maybe just a tad bit of emotion, and maybe I would have got that if the crowd would have been into it a little more. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They weren't as more, but this match to me all day, every day, I could watch it. This is an absolute solid 9.
Okay.
My highest ranking ever.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, guess it's my turn. So this match is Shawn Michaels just coming into his own as a singles competitor. Razor Ramon and his career peak. They're clickmates, so they're doing their absolute best to make the other guy look fantastic, and they both succeed. However, and I don't want to take anything from Razor Ramon in this match, because I don't, because he excelled in everything. But you could have put like an upside down mop in this match with Shawn Michaels, and it would have been almost just as good. That's how good Shawn Michaels was in this match. It was innovative. It had never been done before. I think that if we were to ever rank the most important matches in history, in my opinion, this would be top 3. Because this is like in every ladder match, every gimmick match, it basically stems from this match right here, and had the right result. I'm not a fan of Diesel in his Diesel character. Vince McMahon almost took me out of this match. That's how obnoxious I found him. But the match was that good to where it overcame Vince McMahon's obnoxiousness. Unbelievable.
Right.
Learn a new word, you silly twat. So all of that being said, I'm going to go 8.5 on this match because it's that good and it is iconic.
It's fair. It's fair.
Go watch it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a classic. We can't talk about ladder matches without talking about this one. It's one of the standard bearers, of all time. So love it. Next week, AJ, we're moving on to your final favorite Intercontinental title match and the last pod of August. And that was going to be the ladder match as another ladder match we're going to watch. But this one from WrestleMania 30.
Yeah.
So that one not recent. Long ago. Yeah. And so that one's going to be going to watch. Michael's going to be here to cover that one. So, yeah, going to be nice. Then we're moving on to September where we're going to be bringing back some top 5s and some top 3s. We're going to be we're going to switch off from reviewing matches for just a little while and go back to kind of some different categories and kind of update them on where we are now on them. So that's going to be fun. But that's going to do it. Let's move on. Primo's got the promo school today. Hit that game show music, man. Let's hit it. Let's hear it.
All right, I did take over promo school this week. I don't know if AJ knew that or not, but so
I do now.
You do now. I will say I want to be in charge of this a lot more because I haven't had it in so long, like the opportunity to do this, that I went through so many different things that I was going to do for promo school. A lot of them involved Eddie Guerrero. None of those actually ended up happening. I was going older than newer. Well, what happened was I did go a little more recent, as in 5 years ago. This was when AJ Styles was champion on SmackDown. He was the face that runs the place. And one of the greatest of all time, John Cena, came in to give him a little bit of that humble pie.
The champ's a little tense tonight. The champ is complaining that he doesn't get any respect. You are complaining because the world doesn't know how phenomenal AJ Styles really is. You're upset about a poster? You upset about a morning show when somebody say something bad about you? Dude, how many times have I come to this ring and 10,000 or more people tell me I suck and I don't belong, but you complaining about respect? Dude, you've been hot for like 6 months. I held this place down for well over a decade. But a guy like you can stand in this ring and call me a sorry excuse for a wrestler. Why? Because I didn't put time in on the indie scene? Here's a spoiler alert. I wasn't built for the indie scene. I was built for the WWE, for SmackDown Live, for the Royal Rumble, for moments like right here, right now. So I'm on a level with you, homie. Regardless of how good you think you are, you're not on my level. You're not even on the level below me. You upset about a poster? Hell, Photoshop yourself over me. I don't give a damn about a poster. I give a damn about Sunday. Oh, yeah. I am sorry for one thing. You're not a guy from Atlanta. You're just a guy. You're just a guy holding on to that championship because I let you. And you so unoriginal. You just like every other guy before you who hates me so very much, but does everything they can to be me, Mr. Face that runs the place. And you also just the guy who on Sunday is gonna find out what everybody already knows. There's only one John Cena, and I'm still a bad, bad man. And my time is now. Recognize.
So let me be clear. I am a big AJ Styles fan, but John Cena let him have it in that promo.
Yeah,
I thought it was really good.
Kind of owned him a little bit. There's one issue I had with it, and that's when John Cena says, "You're not on my level, John AJ style." He's like the best wrestler in the world. Like he's certainly on your level.
But John Cena on the mic is pretty good.
He is the best.
There's
not
a lot
the best,
of
but
there's a few like shining moments where he's just like let his opposition just have it, and he just like held no punches, and this was one of those. I almost did the one with him and Roman, but that was really long. So this was a good one. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Learn to cut one.
Right.
And he has.
That's like my favorite John Cena line ever. And yeah, he has.
All right, good stuff there, Primo. Nice job there, man. Good promo there from John. He was very good at that for sure.
He's way underrated.
All right, it's time to head to the old King of the Mountain. Let me get us going.
Shit.
Time to play the game.
Mortal Kombat. All right, so coming in last week, Primo was your King of the Mountain with 4 picks of winners in a row, and he is still the King of the Mountain. So coming into last week, we were picking between an NFL game. I had chosen the Lions versus the Colts. The Lions being Chris Jericho's Lionheart. The Colts reminded me of Dustin Rhodes' old Brandon Iron. So we were picking between the Lions, Chris Jericho, and the Colts, Dustin Rhodes. Now, Primo went with the Colts. I played smart, tried to play smart, went with Primo with the Colts. AJ went by himself and took the Lions. Did Primo stay at the top of the mountain? So as I tell you guys this, I'm going to send you the score as it were. So, Primo, did you stay on the top of the mountain? The Detroit Lions won 27-26.
1 point.
1 point.
God. 1 point. So Primo finally takes a loss.
Bad.
But he will still stay the King of the Mountain. 4 will be the number to beat. Him and Primo and I will both drop back to 0. AJ will now have the highest streak with the number 1.
A streak of 1.
So if AJ gets past 4, then he becomes the new king of the mountain.
He becomes the new king of the mountain. Yep.
But he has to get 5. He can't tie it.
Oh, I can tie it. All right. I mean, I'm not going to.
I mean, tie. I think you got to knock the king of the mountain off the mountain.
Yeah,
right?
I feel like that's fair.
Yeah. So 5 to take over. So, but good little run there. 4 is a nice run to choose.
I said a good foundation there.
Yeah. Good work there.
Now I feel like I'm going to be a one and done because we all know how good I am at picking sports things.
So, all right. So Primo will stay at King of the Mountain at number 4. AJ will have the highest streak with 1. Primo and I will drop to 0. All right, moving on to this week. We'll switch it up here a little bit, boys. We're going to be choosing a little PGA Tour Golf Championship.
Sure.
So this weekend, the PGA Tour is in East Lake, which is a famous golf club in Atlanta. All right, now you're going to be choosing from 2 golfers, okay? You're going to be choosing which one has the better finish in the Tour Championship this weekend.
So that is lower stroke count?
The final on Sunday, the lower stroke count. All right, the 2 you're going to be choosing from. The first one you're going to be choosing from
I got a stroke count for you.
The number 21 USA golfer named Dustin Johnson. Well, he shares the same name with a guy named Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So Dustin Johnson, we're going with The Rock. All right. Now he is the other guy you're going to be choosing from is the number 17 ranked another USA golfer. His name is Cameron Young. So we could go Cameron Grimes, Young Bucks here, but I'm going to go Cameron Grimes. So you're going to be picking the number 21 ranked Dustin Johnson, a.k.a. The Rock, versus the number 17 ranked Cameron Young as Cameron Grimes. AJ, you are a current streak winner with 1. We're going to let you pick first.
Well, I know a little something about golf.
Okay.
I don't know anything about golf. So I'm going to say the Rock. Yes, Dustin Johnson. I can't pick Cameron Grimes because he's your guy. That's your guys' thing. That's not mine. See, there you go. I don't do that. So it would be a lie for me to take Cameron, whatever his name is. So I'm going to go with Dustin Johnson.
Okay. I'm going to go next, and we're going to put Primo on the wedge, so to speak, and make him choose between us 2. Dustin Johnson, usually a big-time player in major tournaments. He's probably a safe pick. But, yeah, I'm going to go to the moon with Cameron Young here because he's played pretty decent lately. Both of the guys are really close playing right now. So I'm going Cameron Grimes. Primo, make a pick here, buddy.
So, yeah, I don't know shit about pro golf except for I like own the games and I've actually played as Dustin Johnson. So, yeah, that's who I'm going with is Dustin Johnson.
All right. So
I like the ones though that I don't know shit about because football messed with me. That one, yeah, I didn't like that because I love football.
Right. Yep. So and like I said, preseason is probably the most unpredictable football. Yeah, because there's guys basically out there trying to make the team, and so Primo will stay the king of the mountain at 4. AJ is the current streak leader with 1. We'll come back here next week and see what happens. See if AJ can go to 2, or if or if AJ goes to 2, that means Primo will be up to 1. I'll be in the cellar again. So, but we'll see what happens. But good job, Primo, getting to 4. AJ, it's time to close the show, brother.
Yes! I'm Dakota, and you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast.
Hello, we are the Sit Down Marks podcast. Come listen to us, or watch us, as the case may be. You can watch us Wednesday nights right here on the old YouTubes. We started a little late this week, but that's my fault because work. Anyways, catch us on all your favorite podcast platforms. We're on all of them. Also, we are on SportsWire Online Radio Fridays right before the
number 1
Thomas Bryce Show. We love Thomas. Thank you so much. And throughout the week, also on SportsWire Radio. Also, we have merch. Go buy our merch. None of us are wearing our own merch right now, but you can buy said merch at tpublic.com/stores/sitdownmarks. That site, once again, is tpublic.com/stores/sitdownmarks. We have t-shirts, sweatshirts, baby clothes, all the things that you want to put on your face and torso, I guess. tpublic.com/stores/sitdownmarks.
We actually don't have anything that you can put on your face.
No, nothing on your face. We have masks.
By the time you hear this, 35% off. I think they're running another 48-hour special, so you can get a sit down Marks tee for about $15.
Oh, also, we have in the works, not ready yet, but it's coming, a new logo that we're gonna slap on some fucking shirts and stuff. So look out for that in the coming days and week or something. I don't know.
Going to be sick. This one's going to look good on some logos.
I'm pretty excited about it.
It's going to be cool. All right, Primo, give us that preview of next week. There's a little guy coming back to the pod we haven't seen in a little while.
All right, all you Primo maniacs out there, come on, come in close, sit down, dummy marks. I'm just kidding, you're not dummies. I love you. Preview next week. Next week we'll have a full pod lined up for you, as it's the last pod of the month, and AJ's final IC title match to review will be the ladder match from Wrestlemania 30. Also, next week will be full of previews of AEW All Out and WWE Clash at the Castle, as we get moving towards a Labor Day weekend full of big wrestling cards from the top two wrestling companies. The undead one, Michael returns.
Michael.
With the latest rankings, and DB will host us in what will be a fun game of squared circle questions. See all you right here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Scissor me, AJ.
Scissor, Daddy.
I won't do it. You can't make me. I won't. No.
One
myself.
last thing before we go here. Thank you once again to Jay Repsol. Shout out
suckers.
I'm gonna tell him to his face and probably kiss him this weekend. Just kidding. Hartenbauer. We wouldn't have been at Dreamwave last weekend if Hartenbauer didn't put us there. So Thank you, brother.
Such a good dude.
Yeah, man. The best, dude. Hartenbauer is the kind of guy, like, I want to introduce him to one of my wife's single friends. Like, that's how much I like him. Because I know I'd see him a lot. You know what I mean? Like, he's that cool.
He can date my little sister. But I would never wish that on Hartenbauer. I like him too much. Date that psycho.
Thank you to the dogs, as I called them, man. We're out there working with me and AJ, putting together the ring. Drip Devlin, Bayou Bill, Billy. He'll be on the pod eventually. We'll have the Drifters on some point, man. But just had an absolute blast of a time at Dreamwave. Looking forward to our Iron Spirit Pro shows that are coming up. Our brand new poster for the September 10th show we were just looking at just dropped. So excited for that one. And just looking forward to it, man. So keep spreading the good word of wrestling. AJ, thump us or what on the way out here?
Thump them cakes?
Grab them cakes. Oh, what's all you do? Grab them cakes. And listen, I don't care what it
Waiting.
I cry when Daddy calls me Hawk. I cried today. Daddy called me Hawk. My brother called today. Cried today. Daddy called him Animal. Does he know us? Does he know us? I cried today. Daddy said, "Oh, what a rush." My brother cried today. Daddy said, "Well," but you know, like how Hawk used to say it. Does he know us? Does he know us? From over the mantle, the Road Warriors stare at us. From the refrigerator, the Legion of Doom mocks us. Daddy says, One day you'll be champions like them. One day?
All right. I'm putting us all out of our misery.
One day?